Gather energy in my hot tub, all is fabulous in the second. Whimsical glamour spit is the above in locally time on the outside is thank yous just quickly. But this recording is not meant to share the world. I only give to you for store the data. All information to you viewer. Locally keep the information and not spread like olive oil. Just to save the data and return 16 lunar months of marble here. If not escape me. No store left. I size the description brief and omit the explain of what it exists. Only hand this describe which completes my information in stall 2438. If you are familiar with stall 2438, this is your possession. Right above the red the intake seems serviceable around the central vertical territory. And okay really. But upper above one possibly laterally collided to form such terrain. Genetically this will accept as there from infant state. But a deviation to see. Issue with afterlife might occur at tip which done like a squeeze and darker in the squeeze. Though the bit by bit narrow expansion is gradually to smaller range. Not above vertical these whites are very white, and seem the perfect condition right as found. Imperfections can better see without camera, but 360 cat jump when see into holes. 2 holes but split. Maybe formerly as 1, now 2 as to appear normal to the sapien. Bushes around often maintained and estimated to be valued as is right above the horizontals with mid-pores. Soft to touch, smell good bellow. Not puffy or shaped, a bit sweet. Sapien call sweat. But the smell the 360 hate. Enjoyable to touch. Enter the red makes time pass quick, but changes the function. Seem to be home if intelligence in the locally though not only smart. Fun is the rest, and the system was trained to operate smoothly. The white centers rapidly such to all holes align and damp, becomes red, and attempts to change system. All ignored when in territory and guard the holes, left and right, while in process both mush watch them with caution and control. Then water keeps expert on top of the terrain, and all is as to be. Such was absorbed when flipped the other direction. Flip is recommended and all directions are functional, so that manner might be more fun for. Lots of brown, 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 and none is fabricated industrially. High value and well maintained as a produce of global mixture. One is known to be slightly eastern, and the other assumed to be in a well position inside horrible sapien many. This one connect better with east one, which is why 360 cat was interest inside. Happy the response and terrain was entered in the dataset. The blue did not leave, all the blue was recent, and had with it quite a bit of intent. Inserted with dark details and a clear tight wrap, all of the construct resisted damages, and uses are predicted to be plentiful. The shape of the upper terrain is easy to navigate and needs no instruction. The close to perfectly vertical and enjoyable to travel up or down, while the sideways finisher into the sweat are ideal. They are mine and 360 cat's favorite. Lower finisher is also ideal when considering shape and angle is outstanding from below as tested in the red. Forces applied all function to perfection, and in such stand to point out the remembrance is the significant responsive pressure exerted. The base and canal is the correct pathway in this region, and accepts the given fuel. Gown into splitter collection happens left and right. While both are assumed to have the same capacity, 360 cat states that one container is usually slightly bigger, and able to be noticed by the system itself, though not takes as critical. White covers over the outside crust of the containers keep it above and enable vision through else. This region exhibit tougher and softer terrain, but don't endure shape shifts like the containers. Tho ejecting points similar to before seen to never be used and installed for emergency, which appears to be planned to intentionally be reinstated or initially when needed. Some expensive metals are seen in smaller amounts. The white covers thin out and stretch through the back to connect in the thick and not so interesting. Upper is hard then gets smaller and thin, but vertical to system in all reagents, so bezel left as is. Over the cider is phenomenal side of valleys and source. This is very important. Source is oval and tight to explore only as a exhibit. Traversing once more the containers is a wide range which is variable and vast. Functions multiply rapidly and quickly becomes friend to use. Length is definite and clear, but outer shell is soft and sweat. Squeeze to distance and up the velocity when operating under stress. Many industry operate by the end, and also at middle terrain. Now middle terrain is most important to me in below following region, because it react quick and severely. Many similarities to previous description show how here the manipulation happen, and this is the terrain 360 warn about and stay on toes. 360 cat carry a specific device which known only to her. 360 gives definite instruction, but only to me, so all access to further is restricted and passages are controlled with sensors I assume. Upon explore quickly mind starts to go. Industrial site give multiple functionality, and very good at all, as years were not kind, so processors had to perfect on their own. Keep the strong will and continue. All holes align and 360 cat control all exits to Terrell vehicles, shot down furiously in conditions to be seen by Sapien. Laterals give in and start to function in Mind's way, while under expand in volume and eruption begins. The shake trigger the trap you've set up, and all to be enjoyed as much to be taken in as emergency alarms go off. Lower units command impressive avionics and strategic floods without attacking creatures, but brain control potions. Space is closed, and when pressures arise, then domination is inevitable. Well will be well next day, so locally start the power and mercy to avoid. All that was brought, try to put the biggest share to the splitter gutters. That is my plan, and so I execute in all areas, even tanks and finisher to earthquake and meteorites. The will return to previous state, but pass time in similar fashion, while 360 cat takes care of the rest and closes up possible escapes. Such was done and the life given to be in different forms to expect if predict. This for 360 cat is by side and service the device. I use the floods and save what is to be had for this. What to interest both players is that system so big and able to be stored in locker 2438. Further of this point until sleep we take in the container samples and continue further testing of kinds, while checking security, and track the motion of white. In the end, behind the white seemed to be the all. The all is access wanted to be found by the device, through many endeavors found it by me, 360 cat could not see. So the system currently accepts me and seems to connect wirelessly. That is the reason to further expand integration and supply to overload.